Salute everybody. It's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful day. Blessed Tuesday it is. It is yours truly, Bigreddiva. First of all, I want to give out my condolences to D'Angelo, also to Angie Stone. And I want to play a song by Angie Stone, and then I also want to do one from D'Angelo before we get started. Just paying my condolences. Salute to everyone that's coming in. Hey, Flip, what's going on, lady? Giving a little moment of silence, tribute to Angie Stone first, and then D'Angelo, R.I.P. And then I'm going to go on with what I have to say. It's Cancer Awareness Month. Go have yourselves checked, men and women. I am a breast cancer survivor. Yes, he's my father. Yes, he's my son. I can talk to him because he understands everything I go through and everything I am. He's my support system. I can't live without him. The best thing since sliced bread. And I'm playing this song for a reason too. It's gonna go into what I have to say. Hey, baby. How are you, honey? I'm hoping I'm pronouncing everybody's names right. I did go and have my eyes examined this morning. I need new glasses, and I am still kind of dilated. So, don't charge it to my mind, not my heart. Charge it to my mind and these crazy eyes. Yeah, it was time for some new eyeglasses. And listen at the song. Y'all song have meaning. Hit the like button. Subscribe. So much to me. Yes. Give me what I need. I'm so I'd love to have my 500 subscribers by the beginning of the year. Whenever you're facing down, brothers gon' work it out. I'm so proud. I got my shakable faith. I love you. I'll never try to hurt you. I want you to know that I'm here for you. My brother, strong brother. There is no one other. You hear what she say? Black brother, strong brother, and there is no one above you. I'll never try to hurt you. I want you to know that I'm here for you. Listen at the message. That's what I'm going to speak on. Our black brothers and sisters today. Salute. I'm going to do D'Angelo's song last. Because I need to play my intro. But I just wanted to play that because that song has meaning. And what I'm going to talk about today, I couldn't have picked the perfect song, and I wasn't really even thinking about it along those lines. I was thinking about that because of the passing of D'Angelo. And but what I'm getting ready to talk about, that was the perfect song. And I'll just do D'Angelo's once I'm done, because I don't want to drain y'all out with songs and not on the topic. But this is my intro, and once this come through, then we'll start the show. I'm the producer. Give me some of the vibe too. And my backdrop was a gift from another lady that's a brain cancer survivor. Scriptures. And I thought it was so pretty. Hit the like button, subscribe. And this was another gift. Lord, I say fuck them. My classmate gave me that. I love it. They know me so well. They know I love bling. They know I love it. Oh, these are some gifts too. My little bracelet. Don't let them bring you down. I mean for nothing. But if they try, it's probably just to cut ties. And that song there speaks for itself. If they ain't on what you on, cut ties, baby. Family, friends. Let them go. You gon' learn to keep some folks about your business. The life you live. If they don't like it, oh well. Take your energy, baby. Cut them off. If they ain't on what you want, cause you try from the ones that ain't cheering you on and say fuck them, then fuck it. Cut ties with them. Get them on out of here. Well, salute everybody. Salute. I'm happy to see y'all. I love to see y'all coming in when I do go live. I'm gonna try to make it a little more often than norm. But with me, when it's downloaded, I gotta jump on and do it right now, because if not, I'll lose it. I can't save it for tomorrow. When the Lord put it on my heart, I gotta get it right now. And something just downloaded in my spirit, to speak on co-parenting. Co-parenting. Well, in the YouTube streets, and y'all know me, I'm everywhere. I want to know what's going on. I don't like being not in the know. A lot of things I speak on, a lot of things I don't. I just sit back and I observe, and I listen. And you have to be mindful sometime of speaking on different things, because people have a tendency of getting nosy. I am number one nosy. Hey, I'm so Houston. I am number one nosy. And let's see. I just want to know what's going on. I like to know. So when I do get on here and I speak on something, I know what I'm talking about. It's not nothing somebody called and told me. I heard it. So hopping around. So I tuned in to Jackie and Big Baby them live on last night, and talking about Brandon and 88 and their situation or whatever. So I'm just taking the situation. I'm not talking about the individuals. I don't care about the individuals. Just letting you guys know that's what I'm piggybacking off of. But I am talking about the situation and what I've experienced with co-parenting. You're welcome, sweetheart. What I've experienced with co-parenting and, just having a child, to certain times you're with me and then certain times you're with your father, and the difference in it. So I don't like a man that doesn't take care of his kid or kids or whatever, because first of all, children don't ask to come here. Okay. And when we as women choose our partners and who we decide to have babies with, make sure you know what you're doing and who you're with. Do your research, pray on it, ask questions, watch his surroundings, watch how he move, watch the company he keeps. Sometimes you got to watch how he talk. I go so far as to how you chew at the dinner table, how you drink a glass of water. It's deep for me. How you dress when it's time to go somewhere. I look at all of that. Yeah, let's see. I'm down away from you. Okay, y'all talking. Yeah, so it's deep for me, when I'm picking someone that I want to date, you see. So do we fumble sometime? Yes, we do. Because even though you check all those points, and at one point in time I didn't check those points. I was young when I had my kids, so I don't have baby daddies. They are grown and have all been my son's father. Okay, well, I have 3 kids and I have 3 baby daddies. And don't ask me why, but it's like my relationship were long lasting, but if I see flaw, I'm unhappy with something, I'll leave. And that's my baby. That's mine. So anyway, like I say, we all, we have dropped the ball at some point or whatever. But when you get older, then you get wiser in picking, whom you want to be with. But I know by the time you get older, baby having days are over with for some of us. I know I wouldn't have a baby right now if they gave me $10 billion with it. I wouldn't give a damn. Nope. But anyway, the co-parenting thing. When I separated from each one of my baby fathers, we sat down and we talked about our co-parenting and the do's and the don'ts. How long the child is going to stay with me opposed to how long the child is going to stay with his father or her father. And we seemed to, with the decisions that we made, it worked. It really worked. Long as, our understanding was good. You see, we have to get the understanding, because when you separate, then you have to realize that life goes on. And life goes on, and the wife, the ex-wife, will get involved with another man, and the ex-husband will get involved with another woman. So that's why I'm saying you have to be really cautious on the decisions that you make when you bring in other people around your children, that you're going to be in a relationship with. I want to know his background. I want to know, have you ever molested a child in any kind of way, domestic violence, anything. You have to be cautious. If you have ever been arrested, what were you arrested for? If you ever spent time in jail, how long have you did in jail? Okay. Now, with me, I choose not to date a person if they are just freshly coming out of prison or jail or something, like hey, boss lady, what's going on, baby? Like if that person is like 6 months out of jail, nah, I can't deal with it. No. If I run across you and you may have spent some time years ago, okay, fine. We'll see what's gonna, what we can make of it. But still, I'm gonna do my background check because I'm gonna want to know what's going on. Because like I say, nowadays you have to be cautious because it can lead to a lot of things. But I'm gonna stick to the co-parenting. I'm gonna school these youngsters. Because, not with just what's going on in the YouTube streets, this all over. When you split up, the woman, some of us women, we have a tendency of wanting to hold the child as collateral. You can't see your child unless you give me X amount of dollars. That's crazy. And I say that because when the child gets old enough to understand what's going on, and he or she's mind, it's going to be, well, the only way I can visit with my father is if he give my mom money. So then the child will start thinking, did y'all make me out of love, or y'all made me out of a cash cow? And this basically comes from the woman's side. Okay? Been there, done that. This basically comes from the woman's side. If you don't give me this and if you don't give me that, you can't see your kid. Or if that woman is not fully over that man, for, because we don't know what your reason for leaving, but, that's neither here nor there. But if you're not over the fact that you and the dad can't get along, he's gone, then that's another problem. I'm not over him. I don't want to see him with anybody, so I'm gonna hold the kid against him. Maybe, well, hold the kid, not against him, but hold the kid where you're not gonna see him, and maybe it'll make you come back. But then if that was to occur, and in some situations I've known it has, it still don't work. It still don't work. So you bringing the child back, hey kids, you bringing the child back into more turmoil because you're there, but it's still, just say for instance, if you split up because y'all argue all the time, but you come back, you may not argue for 2 weeks, but then you back at it again. So I mean, the child really has a no-win situation. You see. So now y'all separated. The guy may want to see his child, but because he haven't gave the mama no money, the mama says no. Again, you making the child feel like you were just in it for the cash. I'm just a cash cow. If dad don't give you no money, then I can't see my dad, and the child may wants to see their father. Then you putting all kind of negative things into the child's mind about her father that you chose to lay down with. I think that's wrong. And I'm going to tell you why. Are you giving him money if he had custody or the child was living with him whole soul and body? Do you send money over when if the child is living with the father? Are you giving the dad money so you could see your child? If the roles reversed, or would you say you're okay? Child support. I don't believe in child support. I don't believe in child support. I don't believe in adding people into my my relationships, my life. If I got to get another adult to make you pay for something that you put in this world, I'd rather not even go through the motion. I don't have time for that. I don't need nobody telling my baby daddy how much money you need to pay a month. And then say, for instance, if they say, oh, $500 a month, they gonna get that $500, and guess what? You might get $150. Especially if you were on any kind of government assistance, you have to pay that back. If for those of you who didn't know, if the mother is receiving any kind of government assistance, food stamps, Medicaid, whatever, that has to be paid back. So that's what the child support is. When they get the child support from the man, and like I say, if they order him to pay $500, he has to send that to the welfare office. They take their cut, and then you might get $150, if that. So I don't believe in the system. And then it makes it hard for the black man. That's why it keeps us down. It keeps us, always bickering and at each other, and that's what keeps us divided. You see, that's one issue that keeps us divided. Our black men and women, we have these babies, and when we can't see eye to eye, we separate, and then the baby becomes the problem for the husband and the wife. Because you're not paying no child support, or you're not giving me no money. Okay, well, when that man give you money, then what you gonna do with it? Because 9 times out of 10, you're not taking care of the child with it. We done lied about we needed something for the child and didn't need it. We got the money and used it for our own personal gain. Yeah, the light bill probably was due, and he might have given me $500, and I've taken hey, kickback. I've taken maybe two of 100 of it and used it for what I wanted to use it for, and then oh well, I put $100 or $200 on the light bill, or I'm gonna call him in another 2 weeks and get 200 more. But if that man has gone on with his life, then he got a whole nother household that he has to take care of. No, that's not your business, but still, when the child is basically living with the father, exactly. If the child is basically living with the father, are you giving the woman, that is, are you giving every time he call and asks you for money for your kid? 9 times out of 10, you probably not. So I don't think it's right that you won't let the child see the father because the father is not giving you money. What about memories? What about time? What about the talks that the father needs to give the daughter? That means more to me than any dollar. Yeah, I don't like that. Exactly. You see, we gotta change our way of thinking when it comes down to the kids. That's our selfishness. And you feel like you're hurting the guy because, I'm asking, if he don't give me $100, then he not gonna see his kid. You not hurting him. You hurting that child. Because the child could care less about the money. If a child is constantly asking a parent for money, that's because one of the other parents, that's what they are instilling in that child. So we need to stop all of that. And then your child is holding animosity against the father. And then why weren't you there? When all of these questions come up with your kid, they missing their father. And then, they get grown and they want to, go around the fathers. And, well, why wasn't you there? And then when the father said, because your mama wouldn't allow it, because I wouldn't give her no money. You have the kid thinking that you were right when you were all the way wrong. You were wrong. That kid missed out on a father's love because of your selfishness. Because of your selfishness. Exactly. Exactly. And really not thinking about, once we make this kid, all the things that's going to come after making the child. When the child gets here, you see, again, you got to know who you're dealing with. You got to know who you're dealing with. Then, like, say for instance, we got a couple and we come to an agreement. Yes, you could get your kid, no problem. Now, this is the conversation that I had with my baby's fathers. I have 3 kids, 3 baby daddies. I'd like to meet your girlfriend. We meet the girlfriend. My only rule is don't unnecessarily discipline my child. Meaning don't mistreat my child. Don't just put your hands on my kid because you think that's what you could do. Even if you're a mean person, be mindful. Cause they word is law. Because I taught my children the difference between telling a lie on a person and telling the truth. And the seriousness of, if you come back and tell me somebody did you something, your mama 9 times out of 10 not gonna ask no questions, especially if it's something like molestation or just abuse. You come on with bruises on you, and are you just picking on my kid for no reason, or when the father is not around, you not wanting to feed my kid, or you making my child feel less because of your kids, and we not having that. And this is a conversation that I'm having with the girlfriend. Now, me and you could be the best of friends, honey, is what I tell them. Because I'm going to let you know this. If I wanted him, it wouldn't be no you. And that's facts. Again, if I wanted him, it wouldn't be no you. And even if it is a you, it would be silent. You would be a secret. So I don't want it. You good with it. We just not going to abuse the kid. And, I know, a lot of times the fathers don't be around, and the kids can be rebellious. And sometimes you do have to tap them, you see. But then I tell my kid, if you do anything disrespectful to this lady, and she call and she tell me, or your dad say, well, look, we had to spank such and such and such today because of XYZ. When you get home, whoop your ass again. Because you know better. Because around here, children are going to be children. And adults are going to be respectable adults. And as long as we have an understanding, we good. I don't have a problem. Come get your kid. Where your girlfriend at? Or where your wife at? Tell her she can come and get them. Yeah, they ready. Yeah. And I'm going to send some dollars here. That's for her, for whatever y'all going to do. If you go to the zoo, she can buy a little snacks or whatever. Yeah, there you go. And that'll be like, that was the only time, that I would ask my baby daddies for anything, you see, if they were going somewhere and I was a little short or something to that nature. But just outright not letting you see your kid because you're not giving me money, that's crazy. No. And then I wouldn't call and ask him for anything. I let my child call your daddy and see if he could, help along. Even if he couldn't, well, that's okay. I got it. And I never told my kids one thing bad about their dads. That's one thing I don't do. I don't have to talk bad about him. You gonna tell your kids all about you yourself. Actions. And your word. And you are absolutely correct, Kiss. You are absolutely correct. The moms are more deadbeat than the dads. And that's the sad part. Sound like my daddy too, girl. But my mom never talked bad about my dad. It was always my grandmother. Those grandmothers have a way with My dad wasn't the type of guy that didn't do. My dad was just so rowdy and humbugging. He was a street man. And, he loved to fight, and, he just stayed in trouble, and, but taking care of me, because I'm his firstborn. Taking care of me, he did well. And then he was a womanizer. He wanted women over here and women over there. And he has 10 kids by 8 different women. Okay, so he was more or less of that type of guy. But he came around and he did what he was supposed to do without you even asking. But this is the kicker. If my daddy bought a shirt and you pissed him off, where my goddamn shirt? I bought it yesterday. I want it just like I gave it to you. How the hell you gonna get a shirt back just like you gave it? I want the hanger. I want the price tag. He used to go crazy. For nothing. For nothing. If I say I didn't want to talk to him, he would go absolutely crazy. Give me that shirt back. Put it on the hanger. Where the price? I've worn the shirt. How in the hell? Man, if you don't get out of here. He was that kind of crazy. But it used to be funny to me. And my grandmother just used to hate to see him bring his ass around, because she knew before he left, it was going to be, if my ponytail wasn't right, he had something to say. December 4th. Think he's Sagittarius? I think that's Sagittarius. Yeah, he's a mess, girl. He was a girl. He still is in his old age with that oxygen in his nose. Want to come around here and tell people what to do. If you don't go sit down, man, all you got to do is blow on him hard and he going to fall. Yeah, but my grandmother took it. She used to, here he come. So, but my mom never said anything bad about him. And like I say, he wasn't a bad guy. He was just a force to reckon with. And again, when he got mad, he wanted all his shit back like he gave it to you. And you might go 2 months and not get a quarter. I didn't care. You see, my mama didn't care either. But, these youngsters today, y'all got to stop, because you want your baby daddies to be in your kids' life, and those children want to be around their dad. And what y'all need to do is really sit down and talk to your child and see how she feels or he feels about being, around their father. And even if the shoe is on the other foot, if the child is living, the dad has full custody, then, the same thing. If the mother is, just talk to the kid. Talk to the kid. You see, because the child is actually the one that is missing out. The child is missing out. For whatever reason, y'all can't make it, and this is for anybody, no particular people. I just said I heard, what went on Jackie's live on yesterday, and it was involving, Brandon and 88 about the baby. And I'm just, speaking on the situation. I don't know, what's going on with them, but I can give them a little advice. I've been there, done that. Let the baby see her daddy. Let the baby see her daddy. Yeah. Just let the baby see her daddy. That's it. That's all. It's simple. Don't worry about no money. Money will come. I'm just thinking about time, memories. She has, other siblings. They need to get to know each other. And this is anybody that's going through this situation. Take the money out of it. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. You know, you let the baby make the decision. Y'all put y'all differences aside. Yeah, depend on the situation. Well, exactly. Depending on the situation, you are absolutely correct. Depending on the situation, you know, take some heed to it. You know, talk about it. Uh, um, Make sure everything is safe, good environment. You know what I'm saying? Um, everybody needs to sit around and talk. Everybody, because this type of stuff affects whomever you're dealing with. If they bringing kids in, vice versa. So when a couple decides to separate, and 9 times out of 10, we both going into ready-made families. So we bringing in extras. Everybody needs to sit down and talk at some point. Everybody. And when my child is with me, I spend my money. I didn't look for the daddies to do nothing. I didn't want nothing from them. Once we gone, we gone. And like I say, in each relationship, I walked away. I left. And even if I had not left, I still didn't want, hey, chill, I still didn't want anything from the dad. Now, when the child comes and spend time with you, then whatever money you have or whatever you want to do, that's where y'all spend it at over there with you. Because I don't need you to pay my light bill. I don't need you to pay my water bill. I don't need you to do nothing for me. Once we separate, we divorce, whatever, that's it. I don't want a damn thing from you. And if my child call and ask you for something, then my child is going to call and ask you, not me. Give it to her or him. So we got to do better. And then far as that child support, that is nothing but another form of being enslaved. And if you can't pay the child support, you see, then that's a felon or something on your record. You know, all of that play a part in a black man trying to move up in the world. I want y'all to go read that book, that Willie Lynch book. You know, y'all need to go get that book and read that book, you see. And that explains it all about us as a whole. And how, everything is designed to put our black men under the dirt, and in more ways than one. And not just burying, just humiliating the black man, period. Right. But a lot of them think, they have amnesia and they don't think that children are supposed to be taken care of. You see, a lot of common sense to people is not common sense. That's why I say you have to be mindful of who you're laying down and having babies with. You got to be mindful. And I'm just hypothetically speaking because, people have a tendency of taking your words and getting it misconstrued. I'm not calling nobody crazy. I'm not calling nobody retarded or anything. But I'm saying, even me, you have to be mindful of who you're sleeping with. It's no such thing, and you are so right. I think common sense went out back in what? The early 80s, maybe? Exactly. People, but when you're having babies at a young age, a lot of times you're not mind ready for that. You shouldn't even be thinking about sex. You see. But if you have parents that doesn't talk to you, that don't talk, then yeah, it'll be a lot of things that you're going to want to experience just by hearing what other people are saying. And then, okay, well, let me experience it. And then sometime your experience don't be like Keisha's. You see, Keisha didn't tell you after all that good feeling, after you get past the pain of it, you get a good feeling, and then after that, all hell breaks loose. So parents, we need to start our children more. When they come to y'all with questions, answer them. You shouldn't be afraid to talk to your kids about anything. Yeah, I had mine early. I had my first one at 16. Well, I got pregnant with her at 16. I had her, got pregnant at 15. I had her at 16. Then my second child came at 20. Got pregnant 19. My second child, I had him at 19. And my third child, I had him at 20. 20, making 21. Then I stopped. I didn't want any more. So, talk to your kids, don't be afraid to answer any of their questions. Answer their questions. I have only one. Okay. I wanted a boy. And my first one was a girl. And I just was so hell bent on getting that boy. I got 2. And I love it. But I only wanted, if it was 2, fine. 3, that was it. Nothing after 3. Well, I did miscarriage 1. I would have had 4. But I miscarried that 1. And then that's when I decided I'm going to wait, because I got pregnant when my little girl got pregnant at I think I was like 21, I think. 19 had her, then turned around and got pregnant again and miscarried that one. And then I'm like, okay, I'm wait. And then that's when I got my first boy and then my second boy. And I get the dates and the years misconstrued, but by 21, I was done having kids. So, and wouldn't have one, like I say, if they gave me $10 million. Hell no. Yeah, you have to, because my kids came home, my boys came home from school. They were in the 4th and 5th grade. And the conversation that was being held was oral sex. And when they came in and asked me, hey, Mom, in a joke, God, what is oral sex? I say, what? What is oral sex? And I was on the phone with a friend girl of mine. These people. Oh, Lord. Y'all, my nerves get so bad. People see you be on live. They see it. And they are constantly calling, text. And I done told them when I'm live, don't call me. That pisses me the fuck off. Because that's rude and that's being disrespectful. And I know they're watching. That burns me up. And then they call with stupid ass questions. So anyway, I'm sorry. I was talking to one of my friend girls and she said, well, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I'm gonna go talk to him. So she said, well, I want to stay on the phone because I want to hear what you got to say. So I said, okay. So I went in, I set them all down. I said, okay, well, tell me what y'all talking about. Why did y'all ask this question? So my oldest son, he said, well, we were at school and my friend said that his girlfriend was doing it to him. I say, his girlfriend was doing it to him. And I say, and how old is this young man? Well, mama, he my age. Now, man, they both in the 5th grade. But 9, 10. I said, okay. So then my younger boy, I'm asking, I say, well, what you know about it? Well, my friend said, he had did his girl, and I say, well, what did he say he did to his girl? He went down. I say, went down how? So mama, he went down. He say he went down. I say, well, did he show you how he went down? Well, no, ma'am. But he say he had went down. I say, how? So he dropped down into like a squat. You know how you squat down. My son dropped down, and like that. He say he had dropped down like this, mama. And I just fell out laughing. I say, nah. So I set him down. I say, well, this is it. This is what it is. I gave him the dictionary version. I gave him the street version. And, I just let him know this is what it is. And you don't go around putting your mouth on every woman that you see, because every woman that you see ain't clean. And don't you go around trying to put your pecker in nobody's mouth. But I was a little raw and uncut, with them. I gave it to them like I was supposed to, you see. So when they come and ask you anything, go and talk to your kids. And even if they don't ask you, y'all still need to talk to y'all children. When they come home from school today, ask them, how was their day? You never know. You never know what goes on. Had a friend, a guy that was raising his daughters. And one daughter was being molested at school by a teacher. And when she came home and had to go to the grandmother's house after school until the father got home from work, she was being molested by her uncle. And that comes from not talking. Exactly. You better go to the clinic. When I started dating the guy that I'm dating now, he said, well, we going on our first date. I say, to the clinic. To the clinic? I say, yeah, where's your my chart? But I need some up-to-date action. I need, some today action. Like, we gonna go tomorrow. And if we can't get no results the same day, then maybe in less than a week. He thought that was the funniest thing. And I was so serious. Let's go. Let's go, baby. He thought I was playing. No, sir, I'm not. Because I'm going to tell you, I don't like condoms. I don't. But I'm going to start off with them, and I can't stand them, but we're going to, if that's where we got to go for at least the first 3 months, yeah. But once we know where we are, because, when you come from up under those condoms, that's when shit gets real. That's when shit gets real. I'm knowing how everything feels. You're knowing how everything feels. And that level of liking you has stepped up a notch, especially if it's good, ladies. Okay? And vice versa, gentlemen. This is the grown folks talk sector over here. We can talk, can't we? Okay. So yeah, and I want to enjoy that with a clear conscience. So yeah, we're going to the clinic. And that's where we went. And after that, we went and had dinner and we had a nice time. And he respected my mind. You know, I'm not ready. I wasn't ready. And when I'm ready, you'll know. Now, we've been dating for 6 months. He made the 90-day test. He passed. And it wasn't intentional. It wasn't, you know, that's what we had to do. It's just that we decided to, let's enjoy each other. I want to see who you are. He wanted to, you know, see who I am. Conversation. Getting to know each other, you know, and when you be friends first, then your relationship has a tendency to move a little further. You see, if there was some things that I didn't like, you know, in the first 3 months, well, that's your time right there to say, okay, hey, I didn't like this or I didn't like that. Can we work on this or can you change that? And then vice versa. You see, this guy, he's the type of guy, he don't like arguments. We can have a discussion. But I'm an aggressor, and sometimes, you know, when I'm trying to get a point across, I will raise my voice, but I want you to hear me. Because, see, a lot of people, we get into arguments and you are opening your mouth just to say something back. Listen before you respond, because I'm going to listen. So if it had came to, you know, an intimate part within those 3 months, then I'm sure it would have happened. But it wasn't even focused on that. What made it so much more special when it did happen. With protection, of course. Here we go again. But yeah, you know, so communication all around the board. Communication. And, you know, once we get all of that, you know, he has 2 kids, but they're grown. You know, mine are grown. But I still haven't met his and he hasn't met mine yet. We haven't gotten to that part of it yet because we're still getting to know each other. But he do know, you know, that I have grown two grown sons and a grown daughter. He know about my grandkids and vice versa. So, you know, when the time comes, down at the round table. Everybody's going to sit down at the round table. I won't go live at this time of the day anymore because this is really getting on my nerves. It's like everybody and their grandmothers got something to say. Now, if I wasn't on live, nobody would be calling my phone right now. Yesterday, I didn't get a phone call not one time. And then, like I say, it's a bunch of bullshit. So when those babies come home today from school, talk to them. How was your day? How was your day? I'm back. Sorry about that. I went and turned all the notifications and stuff off because that was getting to be annoying. Yeah, but you know, y'all, come on, we got to do better. And again, I say, you know, stop putting the white people in your business with this child support thing. All that's doing is setting the men back to a certain degree. It messes with them because if they get that, I think they put it under being a felon. That's a strike against them. You see, and we trying not to, you know, strike our black men down like that. You know, we got to build them. But black men, y'all got to do better. The ones that are, you know, just outright just don't want to do nothing for the kid, y'all got to do better. Do better. Because the baby didn't ask to come here. And you can't keep watering down the babies. Because that's what you're doing. Mothers, stop keeping the babies from the fathers because they're not giving you money. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. You're stripping away memories. You're stripping away a father's love, because I'm gonna tell you, a daughter needs her father. A daughter needs her father. She does. Positive father. A father that's going to take care of her. A father that's going to love her and nurture her. A father that's going to teach her the right things to do in life. A daughter wants to be able to go to her father and say, Dad, I need you to explain this to me. Because mom can't give it to you like a dad can give it to you. A mom can give it to you, you know, for as letting you know the do's and the don'ts. But, you know, a lot of my advice, even though my dad was on a little crazy side, you know, a lot of good advice came from him and my favorite uncle. And that pretty much what got me through when it came down to dealing with men. Can't live with them sometime, and you can't live without them sometime. So I want to play the song for D'Angelo, R.I.P. to D'Angelo, 51 years old. He passed away earlier today from pancreatic cancer. Pancreatic cancer, 51 years old. Wow. Wow. See, that's why it's so important for you gentlemen to go and be checked. You know, y'all got this thing about don't want the doctors to do the colonoscopy. It may save your life, baby. It may save your life. I know the procedure sounds harsh, and you're going to feel like you're being violated. But hey, what about your life being saved? If you catch it in time. I did. I caught it in time. I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I'm glad I went and had my mammogram done. You ladies, go have your mammogram done. Gentlemen, please just go be checked all the way around the board, because, you know, men could have breast cancer too. Any kind of cancer, you know, and we all can. Please, go and have yourselves checked. It's important. And for any case that you, for everything, just get an overall physical. I went and had my eyes examined. Cataract. It's not bad, he said. But he see it. But he told me we're gonna, you know, watch it for the next 6 months. My prescription has changed. I picked my glasses up in 2 weeks. That's why it's a lot of stuff I tell y'all, I can't see it sometime, you know, when it's flashing on the screen, because the right eye is getting better than, you know, my left one is pretty good, but the right eye is the one that's acting up on me. But we're gonna take care of that. I trust and believe in God. It's well, you know, like I did with that lump in my breast that had been there for 2 years. Just started to develop the mass. I had it removed back in May. And by the 28th, I'll know everything needs to know for as me being cleared. I am cleared. Everything is good, but I have one more doctor to see on the 28th. And I know it's good reports. You know, I've been getting good reports all the way around the board. And I'll never deal with any form of cancer again in life. I speak it. Remember, the tongue is powerful, and whatever you put out into the universe, it will come back. So positive things, negative things, negative. You want your life to change? Start speaking positive. Start saying what you'd like to have. Start visualizing you being in that area or that place where you want to be. Living in that house that you want to live in. Driving that nice car that you want to drive. Visualize all of that. And watch how your life change. R.I.P. D'Angelo.
Talk about the brown sugar you buy the supermarket, brother. I'm talking about the red brown sugar. All right, Pop. Okay, see you. Hey, you going to the same place I'm going to, brother? That's all right then. Cool.
Here we go. R.I.P. D'Angelo.
Let me tell you about this girl. Maybe I should. I met her in Philly, and her name was Brian. See, we be making love constantly. That's why my eyes are a shade blood burning. The way that we kiss is unlike any other way that I be kissing. What I'm kissing, what I'm missing, won't you kiss? Brown sugar, babe. I guess high up your love, I don't know how to behave. I want some love, sugar. I want some love, sugar.
R.I.P. D'Angelo. Hey, Candy Cane.
Oh, sugar, when you're close to me, you love me right down to my knees. And
thanks for stopping by.
Sweet like honey when it comes to me. Skin is caramel with the cocoa eyes. Even got a big sister by the name of Chocolate. Brown sugar, babe. I guess high off of love, don't know how to behave.
I want some love, brown sugar. D'Angelo passed away today. Pancreatic cancer, 51 years old. And R.I.P. to Angie Stone as well. I played her song earlier, Black Brothers. Or Brothers. I think my grandkids finna come in.
Now behind the story goes, brown sugar got me open. Now always time for my line, shit swallow. But I think I'm here to solo. Hold my niggas don't pop. Stick out my tongue and I'm about ready to hit this pretty bitty with my sisters. Yo, I don't think y'all hit me.
You guys have a wonderful day. I might come back tonight and do something, just mess around, whatever. But hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and y'all have a good day. What's wrong? What's wrong?